All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Jason Dagate. Phone lines open, 879-1231. Our producer, Jason Serenier, just informed me of some information that we want to pass along to our viewers out there. In New Iberia, late this afternoon, there's a report of a chemical plant explosion at the Multi-Chem Corporation chemical plant. The good news is, though, no injuries have been reported. And the explosion happened after 4 p.m. in New Iberia at the Multi-Chem chemical plant there in New Iberia. No injuries at this time being reported. If we find out more information, we'll be sure to pass that along. So let's go down to the phone lines now. Thank you for holding. Welcome to Bayou Time. Hi. Okay.
Just to hope your father gets well soon.
Well, thank you very much.
And did you know there's a fortune hunter that's supposedly going to look for bin Laden's remains?
Oh, really?
Thing is, I've only saw the news once. I don't remember the man's name.
Okay, so somebody's going deep-sea fishing for bin Laden's body, huh?
Yeah, he claims he has the same equipment they used to locate the Titanic.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, what's your thoughts? Are you hoping that maybe a shark got him and he's not there anymore, or what?
Well, it'd be interesting to find out which body remains he might come up with.
Yeah, maybe he'll find more than one, huh?
He could find some other poor devil.
Okay, that's right.
Have a good night.
All right, thank you. That's
interesting.
That's interesting there. I did hear that. And, what's your thoughts on that? Go and search for terrorist Osama bin Laden's remains, which, of course, was dumped in the ocean, in the sea somewhere. And obviously, I think it was the right move. At least that's my personal opinion, so that there's no monument set forth for him for people to go forth and praise for his terroristic activities and things of that nature. But, I guess somebody sees that there's potentially some money in it, so they're going to go try to find him. That's an interesting story. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time. Hello, you're on the air live. Thank you for calling. Yes.
Hello?
You're on the air live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Hello and good evening. I wish they would really do something about these gas prices.
All right. Yeah. Let me ask you, where are you calling from? What area?
I'm calling from Homer, actually Bayou Black.
All right.
But I don't see how people, making minimum wage, I just don't see how they're making it, driving back and forth every day.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, because there's always a conspiracy theory that after Memorial Day or right before Memorial Day, no matter what's going on in the country, at least in the recent past, you've seen a spike in gas prices.
Right.
And usually that remains the case until, most of the summer to almost Labor Day, if you will, and then you see it go down a little bit.
Right.
Do you think we have some price fixing going on in that industry?
Well, actually, I don't think it should be over $2 a gallon, to tell you the truth. I don't think it should be even at that much.
Okay. So you would like to see the government regulate it as opposed to...
Right.
Because I guess the argument, though, from the oil company's standpoint is, well, it's supply and demand.
I mean, the government, they getting in everything else, so why can't they get in on the gas prices?
That's an interesting question.
All right. Thank you.
All
Have
right.
a good evening.
Okay. And then a lot of people are starting to feel it in the pocketbook. I included taking, having to be on the road lately a lot. And I tell you, it's not cheap to drive around these days with the prices over $3.50 a gallon. Let's go down to the next caller. Hello, welcome to Bayou Time.
Good evening, Jason.
Hi. Good evening.
You cutting out.
Okay, you were cutting out on me. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see how well it goes.
All right, let's roll the dice.
I looked in on that debate.
Yeah.
I thought Romney did pretty good. He's probably going to be the favorite. Of course, I'd still like to hear from Huntsman.
Okay.
Obama's ambassador from China. He's throwing his hat into the race. What I saw in the debate mostly was a lot of criticism of the president, where no individual candidate really had a political platform to speak from. Tim Pawlenty calls the health care program, Obamacare, like it's a combination between Obama and Romney, you know? And it seems like the criticism goes back and forth. But I wish they'd come out with a plan and discuss that plan rather than just throwing crap at each other. Well, not at each other, but, you know.
Rather than just taking shot, your opinion is you'd rather hear them come up with some ideas, more or less a platform, as to what they should do as opposed to just taking personal shots at President Obama.
Yeah, certainly something different than the criticism that we've been hearing coming out of Congress for the last 6 months when they haven't passed one single piece of legislation as far as jobs are concerned. You know, I just wish that they would talk about what's important rather than just the criticism of others. If they think somebody else is so bad, then tell me what's so good about you.
Well, and I understand what you're saying there as well, but anytime you see somebody run against an incumbent, oftentimes they have to point out at least what's, in their opinion, that incumbent's faults and why they're not doing a good job and why it's necessary for a change. So, unfortunately, that's the makeup of how things are going to work, but certainly I would always like to see a more positive race. I don't think anything's gotten personal yet. I think, you know, from the little that I was able to see, they were just attacking, you know, his theology on things and his policies and how he chooses to go about things. No personal attacks, but I could be wrong. I may have missed a personal attack here or there.
Well, I just wish that it was something other than what we've been hearing over the last 6 months. The other thing I'd like to mention, Jason, is I went to New Orleans yesterday, and I filled up in Metairie, and it was $3.35.
$3.35 in New Orleans?
$3.35 in Metairie, yeah.
Okay.
So
that's a little cheaper than what it is here.
Slowly coming down. You know, it took its time going up. I guess it's going to take its time going down. And like you say, every Memorial Day, you always got that little spike.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it doesn't quite take its time going up. It takes a little longer for it to go down than it does to shoot up.
Yeah, it seemed like it takes longer coming down.
Yeah.
And I know that silver prices went as high as $50, I think 47 something, and it's down to 35 right now. So even precious metals are coming down. Inflation's less than 1%, and Wall Street's recovery is almost $2 trillion. It's the most Wall Street has had in its history. So I think a lot of elements of the economy is coming back, and the thing that's missing right now is going to be housing, and because it was a housing bubble, you know?
Right.
And it's going to take a while to recover from the housing because there was just too much damage done to the housing sector, and also for jobs. And
so how do you think they solved that issue?
Jason, was that unemployment could be as low as 8% by next summer, which could be significant, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what that looks like.
Yeah, well, here locally, unemployment is a lot lower than that, and historically, we always are well below the national average on that. And our economy is doing pretty well here locally, at least from what I can see. But what's your thoughts on the whole housing issue? How do we solve that? Do we turn around? Do you think the low interest rates we're kind of having now is helping people to able to get some money to purchase homes when in the past they couldn't? Because from what I'm hearing, it's still hard for people to get a loan.
One of the economic arguments had always been the fear of a double-dip recession. And we may be headed for maybe not a double dip, but if we don't recover soon and it just flatlines, that's not going to help prospects of unemployment and an economy that's robust enough to spin ourselves out of this problem. But as far as the housing people are concerned, and just to be serious about this, there's a lot of people that overextended themselves. They were living American pie, and it seems like they were neglecting their personal responsibility. Right. It looked like those people done nothing to sacrifice and protect themselves. And I think anybody that leaves himself that wide open for a problem deserves pretty much what they get. And somebody's got to pay for that reckless behavior. And it's going to take a while to purge that market out.
Right. Thank you for your comments. Appreciate talking to you.
Out here, Jay.
All right. What we need to do is we need to take another break. I have several callers on the line. I ask you to hold patiently. Before I do that, I want to make a couple of announcements. So Miss Jessica, I don't get a call from her tomorrow because I forgot to get to my announcements. Let's see. Bayou Land Worship Church on Grand Caillou Road is having the Kids Crusade, ages 4 to 12, and that's going to be June 17th and 18th, and that's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. nightly. Workers arrive at 5, and the doors open at 5:30. There'll be games, prizes, music, Bible story, puppets, and much, much more. Refreshments also served, pigs in the blanket or dogs in the blanket, and pizza bites. So that's at the Bayou Land Worship Church on Grand Caillou Road, ages 4 to 12, June 17th and 18th nightly from 6 to 8 p.m. And also at the Bayou Land Worship Church, Youth Revival, ages 12 and up, July 1st and 2nd, 7 p.m. nightly. And again, the doors will open at 6:30, but the time will be 7 p.m. when it'll get kicked off, July 1st and 2nd. And that's at the same location. Refreshments will be served. The youth leader will be Brother Tommy Dardar. That's ages 12 and up, July 1st and 7th at the 1st and 2nd at the Bayou Land Worship Church on Grand Caillou Road. And lastly, Lafourche Area Agency Council on Aging, public service announcement here, commodity distributions. I apologize, the first I'm glancing over this. The Lafourche Council on Aging and Catholic Charities will be giving out commodities for seniors 60 years and older who qualify financially for commodities on the dates and times as follows. Wednesday, June 22nd at the Thibodaux Civic Center from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Wednesday, June 22nd at the Cutoff Youth Center, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And Thursday, June the 23rd at the Raceland Recreation Building, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So if you would like to get some commodities, if you're a senior 60 years of age or older and you qualify financially, you could go to one of those places on June 22nd and 23rd. For more information, you can call 985-532-0457. We'll take a short break. When we come back, phone lines will remain open, 879-1231. And do want to remind you, I'm sorry, that for more continuing coverage, you can find us on the web at hdv10.tv, and you can follow your local stories from around the area. And you can also go back and look through the archives and find a specific segment that has aired on Bayou Time. For example, up there is Michelle Claudet, the parish president of Terrebonne, who was on last night with Martin False. You'll have different segments. Our Canadas cooking in the kitchen with Canadas will be up there, as well as most of our segments. So hdv10.tv. We'll take a short break. When we come back, phone lines are open.